exchanging feedback is a process that, when done right, under right circumstances, can bring an ocean of improvement in the performance. To discuss the best practices of the industries, we have with us today Mr. Bhavesh Agarwal. Bhavesh is the founder and CEO of Sense HR, and via his company's unique offering of setting up and managing the entire HR ecosystem of their clients, he is the global HR head and CHRO of Smash Entertainment Private Limited. Bhavesh has worked for more than 1.5 decade in the HR domain as the CHRO and as a strategic top management consultant for brands, corporates, startups, SMEs, and family-run businesses alike. His expertise spans across various sectors via managing the HR department of companies ranging from education, entertainment and hospitality, tech, non-tech, banks, infrastructures, logistics, and manufacturing. Some organizations for whom, via his company Sense HR, has set up or led the HR functions are Smash, Amar Chitra Katha Private Limited, India Book House, Wow Express, Negarkot Group of Companies, ASHTECFS, Rank Logistics, to name a few. So I warmly welcome you, Bhavesh, for this talk discussion with me.
Right. Thank you, Dipanita. And that's Aste CFS. It is one of the largest CFSs in Maharashtra. And it's related to the ports and the customs. Yeah.
Okay. Right. So Bhavesh, to start our discussion, feedback has become an integral part of any performance management system of organizations. Yes. So according to you, should the feedback system be formalized? Like, why it is important to formalize a feedback process in an organization?
Right. So when there is no feedback in a system, the system basically is either deaf or it is not going to be able to generate output. So feedback is something which unfortunately is looked at in a very monotonous fashion. It is not just an HR related item. Feedback is coming to you from everywhere. Feedback is coming to you from your clients. So customer service departments today, the largest of the largest companies have a customer care center. If you go to the websites of any latest tools or any latest companies, you'll have chatbots right there, which are asking you to give instant feedback. Today, if you look at the larger B2C companies, whether it is Swiggy, Zomato, or any of them, as soon as you start interacting with their mobile app or their website, the first thing that pops up on the bottom right corner is a chatbot, which is asking you to share what is it that you want. So feedback is not just an HR element. Feedback is something that has to be ingrained within, as I say, the entire ecosystem of the company, and it should be generated from various sources for it to be truly helpful to reaching the goals of the organization.
Right. Like not only from within the organization, but it is also necessary to get feedback from people outside the organization.
Absolutely. Especially our customers, because they are the best ones to tell us. Right. So in my case, if I may say so, right, and without coming across as bragging that much, but my first customer, when I started Sense HR 12 years back, our first customer got on board 10 years back, and they're still with us. And that happens only and only because every year we ask them to tell us tell us what is it that we have not done correct. It is not just about being just doing the right thing and being praised about, but it is about asking for objective, constructive feedback.
Right.
And then acting upon it.
Yeah. So Bhavesh, so according to you, like what are the key elements or the key features that should be present in a feedback process in an organization so that the entire organization can run more smoothly and effectively?
So first of all, we have to remove the element of prejudice. This is the most important and the most key premise under which feedback is supposed to be taken. So if there is the element of prejudice, then you are never going to have honest feedback. And I stray away from calling feedback positive or negative. It is either constructive or non-constructive. It is either objective or non-objective. I don't call feedback as positive or negative, right? So feedback is objective or it is not. Feedback is constructive or it is not. And that is purely dependent on the core culture of the organization. So to give you a simple example, if it is a fairly traditional top-down organization, even if you ask for feedback, you're not going to get honest feedback. Because if the organization has a culture of prejudice and of fear, you're never going to get honest feedback, whether it is from your customers or it is from your customers may still give it to you because they're paying you, but the employees are never going to give it to you because of the fear. So it is never, so all of these things, whether it is feedback, whether it is performance management, they cannot be looked at in isolation. It is a sum of all of things that have to come together, and the core word, which basically defines everything put together, is culture. So feedback has to be a part of the culture of the organization, and the organization has to be open to feedback. And I want to give a small example here. So my deputy in my company, who joined us as a fresher, that is around 8 years back, is now the COO of my organization. And the kind of feedback that he gives me is something which is, he will actually end up telling me, sir, you're wasting everybody's time here, please, let's not do that. Yeah, he's absolutely free to do that because that's how we are. So and that is why we have such long lasting relationships, not just with our clients, but our past employees. So who work with us today. There is a WhatsApp group of Sense HR in which you have the first employee of Sense HR when we started 12 years back, till date, the ones who even resigned, who are still there, and we are still connected, and we'll still keep asking for feedback about, hey guys, we're doing something new. There's something new that we've launched. Tell us your honest feedback. Give us your honest feedback. And then we process it. So it needs to be, as I said, at the core of what we are trying to do.
So Bhavesh, as you said that in most top-down organization, the employees have this fear of giving feedback. But
Yes.
if we consider those organizations where they allow the employees to give feedback to the upper management as well, but still there are some fears that we can see, within the employees. So
very true.
Especially normal feedback, they fear sharing, and constructive feedback, you can't even ask them to share, right? So so can you share some tips or some best practices you think which might help them in overcoming the fear of
before
feedback?
I go into the tips, the best kind of honest feedback that you get is on exit forms in those kind of organizations. Yeah. Okay. Because once I know that I'm quitting, and once I know that I genuinely don't care, and so on and so forth. So that is something that we see all the time. But coming back to your questions about tips, right? There has to be a sense of freedom. When I'm talking of feedback, it has to have that sense of freedom attached to it. And for that, there are various tools today in the market. But I'm an engineer. I don't know if you've looked at my profile in detail. So I'm an IT engineer myself, and my deputy in my organization is again an engineer. And we ourselves actually had built one tool, which is in its beta stages. Just like COVID happened to the rest of the world, it happened to us too, right? So things are still in pipeline. But I personally and very strongly believe that the sense of freedom will come from feedback being anonymous. If you are able to make the feedback anonymous, and if you are able to ask questions which are objective, rather than me asking you a long question, by the time you're through that question, you've forgotten what the question started from and where it is headed to, versus asking short, pointed questions, and at the same time giving the person the freedom of choosing to be anonymous or not. That way, it's a very long shot. It will take some time for the rest of the world to wake up to that. But the best of the best companies, whether it is the Googles of the world or the Facebooks of the world, the companies which people like talking about, but it's difficult to follow what they do, right? So they have a completely open culture wherein anyone and everyone can give feedback. They can give anonymous feedbacks, and their feedbacks are very, very objective. So when I say feedback, it's not just about how am I feeling today. Yes, that is important too. But at the same time, I can actually ask my teammate, like the example that I gave you. My teammate gave me very objective feedback. He said, sir, I think we are sharing solutions with a type of client who does not need them. I said, okay, that's very objective like that. So the feedback also has to be that objective in nature. But for that, you need to have that deep understanding of the subject, and you need to know what type of questions to ask. So while you're doing your research on the same subject, you should check out the beta version of our tool, which is soon to go live. It's called Culture Wallet.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Bhavesh, as you said, the feedbacks need to be more objective. So, do you think like a platform where the organization would be able to tag a particular goal on which the feedback is to be given, or a
Right.
particular template that can be,
Yes.
incorporated while the feedback is being given? So, do you
Yes.
think that will help the organization to give a more valuable and more effective feedback?
Yes, absolutely. But that will start from what kind of goals are we setting? If we are talking about OKRs, if we are talking about goal settings, if we are talking about SMART goals, it actually starts from there. That what is the kind of goal that you're setting, and is that goal setting exercise clear enough or not? Because one thing is to track it, but it's like me telling you that let's achieve a revenue of 50 crores this year. Right? So that's a goal probably which I've just given you, but it's a very absurd goal. The next thing that I need to tell you is how. And the next question that you will ask is, okay, the what and the hows of our, how do we go ahead with this? What are the small steps? What are the large steps and all of that? So that is where the entire goal setting exercise comes in picture. And there are tangibles and intangibles associated. So probably sales is the only function goal settings. But then there are the other functions wherein there are a lot of intangible goal settings, right? So that is where the maturity of the team, which is setting the goals, comes into picture. And hence I repeat again, it is not an exercise that can be done in isolation. It has to be a team effort, because while setting the goals, so if I'm setting my goals for Dipinita, she needs to be involved in that process, because her skill level has to be a part of that discussion. Because if I tell you to do something which you've never experienced before, then I need to give you that much time to probably learn that skill. And if I'm not going to factor that in, then I'm setting a wrong goal in the first place. And then the only feedback that I can give you is that you're not doing well, right? Which is not making any sense to you, because you're like, hello, I did not even know what was supposed to be done, right?
Yeah, so the objectivity of the,
gets, absolutely. It's an inclusive exercise as well as very, very objective.
Right. So as you, Bhavesh, as you said that you don't believe in negative feedback or positive feedback. The only feedback you believe in is the constructive and the one which is not constructive. Yes, the words. Yes, the words, which are constructive. Yeah, constructive and not constructive. So can you share some tips, how to give constructive feedbacks?
Right. So I'll give you a latest example. I will not name my client. All right. So one of the employees who's been with the organization for 10 years, right? That employee wanted to quit. So it was unique, because especially in during these times in COVID, people are losing jobs left, right, center, and companies are not able to pay full salaries. Versus I'm talking about a particular company which has actually given bonuses during this time, because that sector did so well. And in the middle of all of that, an employee chooses to let go. So I asked my teammate, who was responsible for that account, to set up a chat with him on a one-on-one basis, right? And we basically made that completely free, that chat completely free. We said there are no barriers. Nobody is going to have access to your name. You please go ahead and give us the kind of feedback that you want to, and use it and in your own personal native language. It was not about English, because the person was, his mother tongue was not English. So we said, use your mother tongue and be as honest as possible. And the kind of feedback that came out was so objective. It opened up the eyes of the entire organization towards the kind of certain things which should not have been done. And as you and I are talking right now, there is objective action being taken to stop certain practices within the organization. So I've given you a case study wherein It starts with, it's easier to say that, okay, somebody's leaving, we just need to replace that person. But no, that's not how it works. We need to have the maturity to understand if somebody's worked for an organization for 10 years, and if that person is leaving, there has to be a reason apart from money, right? So, but then again, we will keep going back to the same thing that, that is where the understanding of the subject of people management and the maturity to ask the right questions and to give the freedom and create that environment of freedom and of free and open communication.
Right.
That is when you will actually get objective feedback.
Absolutely. So the last thing, Bhavesh, that I would like to ask you is, do you think that feedback should be linked to the performance evaluation of the employees? And why do you think that should be linked?
So this is a very arbit question. So feedback to be linked to an employee's performance, again, we are talking about goal setting here. So the reason why why I said that this is an arbit question is because if you are attaching, when you are explaining the goals, if you have a clear mechanism to define the goals, and at that point of time, the employee has accepted that, yes, I have clearly understood my goals and I've understood the timelines and the milestones within which I need to deliver them. That is when you can expect feedback to be tied. So for example, if Dipannita was supposed to take this interview within a particular month, within so many days of having first interacted with Bhavesh, then that is a KPI, right? That is a KPI, which is a milestone which can be measured. Now, has Dipannita understood it? If she says, yes, I have understood it, then as the manager, I can ask you that, okay, what is the reason behind you not having had this interview before, and why is it happening today? And then you can give objective answers to it. And then, yes, it can be aligned. But if you are going to do this exercise at the end of the year, there is no way for you to align feedback to performance, because then it is just about two people sitting and arguing or discussing things which are intangibles. As I said earlier, tangible and intangible. So as long as it is tangible and it is measurable, that is when, yes, you can attach feedback to evaluation. But if it is not in the first place itself, if you've not made the effort of attaching them together, then no, it is wrong to do so.
Oh, so what I understood from your point, Bhavesh, is that like if feedback is continuously, incorporated in the performance management system, only then it can be linked to the performance evaluation, right?
And very, very objectively, and very objectively.
Yeah.
With absolute clarity.
Okay. Right. Otherwise,
and once again, just to add just one small point here, Dipannita, so I keep giving your example again because it's the two of us on this call, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So as my teammate, you should also have the freedom to say that, hey, you know what? I was not able to do something because of certain limitations, which were not in my hand. And that the top management or whoever is the reporting manager needs to have the maturity to accept that feedback. Because otherwise I can simply say, you know what? No, it was a timeline and you've not met it. Right? COVID or no COVID, I don't care. See the difference? See the difference? It becomes intangible and it becomes irrelevant. And then Dipannita resigns. Yeah.
So, yes, I understood your point, Bhavesh. So, thank you so much, Bhavesh, for your time. It was great interacting with you. And the things you, about the feedback, making it a continuous process to actually making it a part of the PMS. And instead of using the terms negative or positive, using it as constructive and non-constructive. Everything is, very, I think, important to engrave into the performance management system of an organization.
Yeah, constructive and objective. And there is one last thing which I would like to add, that, while people look at feedback as, so when you truly look at feedback as science, when you do an experiment, at the end of it, there is an outcome, right? If you do an experiment, it will fail, or you will get the desired results. If you get the desired results, what is it that you should be given? I'm asking you this question, that as a human being,
Okay.
if I'm doing, you ask me to do an experiment, I do it, and I'm able to give you the desired result, then what should I get in return? Should I get something in return?
Yes, you should.
I should, right? So that's a
Yes.
reward
Yes.
or
you
some sort
should.
of recognition,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
And when you actually are able to add that to the feedback mechanism, that is when you'll actually be able to close the human loop. And if you look at it from the B2C perspective, B2C companies, some of them are doing it so well that when you buy something today, they want to give you something called as cashback.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
So there is a product you're buying. Let's say you're buying a set of earphones that is for $100. You bought it for $100, but you're still getting 10 rupees as cashback.
Yes.
Right? So what we are striving to do, so the tool that I told you about, specifically with respect to feedbacks. So we are striving to do that. We are striving very hard to close that loop, and you'll hear about that very, very soon. So all the best to you guys too. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Bhavesh, for your time.
It was a good chat. Yeah,
Thank
it was a good
you.
chat. Thank you.